Hello, I'm Amanda Gross, and I'm going to share today my final for GPE 104, mostly working final. So I'm going to go down through the checklist and tell you about the things that are in my game and look at all the code and all the features and everything that goes with it. First thing I want to do, go ahead and start with this start screen because, hey, what great place to start screen. I'm going to go ahead and press play. My start screen comes up. It might be kind of loud though because music on the background. That's part of the criteria. So let's just pause it there. Oh, nope, it doesn't. It will not let me, will it? Nice. Okay, hold on. Play again. Okay, I'll just have the music in the background. Hopefully it's not too loud, and hopefully it'll also play on the YouTube video. But I'm doing a bunny with a sugar rush. So let's see. You have to have a sprite import and display was on the first section of this project within the week 1. So from week 1, I definitely have a sprite import right here and displayed. I know for the code from 1, it's supposed to show different types of code. I've got a get key down and a get key access, so I'll head into those. I'm just going to try to go in order for a change. I hardly ever go in order. But here on my player code, and I'll look at this scene here in a bit. On the 1 player code with my platformer scene, I have a finite state machine that works to animate my character, my player. Okay, so when my character is climbing and running, both, I have the get access. So right here is an example of get access. Because that was one of them that we said about. Get key down. Oh, sorry, get access also in climbing. Climb ladder, get access. So vertical, because he's going to go up and down. Horizontal, he's going to go across. And I use this cross-platform input manager that I found, which helped me out quite a bit for this project. Okay, but for get key down or get down, so get button down, helps him to jump. So there's use of that key. Let me see. Game object, I'll take a look at here in a minute. It's within my code. An additive movement vector to position. Let's see, I have different vectors everywhere, so I'll probably pop in and out of the vectors. Right here is a vector 2. Trying to get my run speed for my character to run. So there is one vector example. Okay, so what I need to show you next, I guess, would be game object to finish up all of 1. So let's head back in. I'll go ahead and play the game for a second, though, till I get to the game object. And I have to go through all this again, too, because this is part of, I think, section 3 within my essay. Okay, so in here, I have a game object that I've got a level exit. And this is my level exit. My level exit is a sign up here. So that is a game object that, whoops, out again. Okay, that is, it's not gonna cooperate now, is it? Oh, that's right, because I'm in play mode. And once I do that, it messes the whole thing up. Okay, let me just go ahead straight to that scene. That'd be easier. I'm not very good at YouTubing all of my things. And I have everything organized here in folders on the side, but it's still a bit of a mess. I'm trying to be organized as possible. Okay, platformer. This is the platformer scene. Okay, so we'll just do it this way. Right there is my level exit that the player is supposed to be able to activate to go off the screen. Right now it doesn't entirely work, so I guess, yes, one of the bugs. And these will eventually, I'm hoping, kill the player. Again, I'm having trouble getting the player to get hurt at different times. You get stuck in that ladder every time too. But there. Oh, hey. Yes, it finally did it. Woo! Okay, never mind. Working after all. Okay. I'm going to pause there for a minute, though. I'm not going to go into the next one. So it does work. Okay. So game object that is active, I think, was it in the requirements. My player can activate the sign when in the exact place. And it's also trigger to push it to another screen, I think is what we call it, is the trigger to push it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. So there we go, sign. My spikes, though, do not hurt my player yet. I'm working on that. I'm just happy that he can make it to the next level on the other side. I was kind of happily surprised about that because it hadn't worked earlier. Okay, let me look at, so that should be all of section 1 for the final. Let me look at section 2. And what I tried to do was I tried to incorporate all the things that we did in one game. I'm still in the platformer. That's really good, Amanda. Okay, there we go. Space Candy. Okay. But I tried to incorporate everything that we did in the other projects into one big project. It was only somewhat successful. It was a lot. So, okay. So one of the first things we said about was tank controls. That was one of the first things from the second project too. And yep, background music again. My ship can rotate and it can go forward and backwards. So let me pause right there. So tank controls. Let me take a look at my scripts for my tank controls scripts. And see, I just stuck them like this within the things, and then if they had to do with everything like the simulator and level exit, I just popped them out there in the middle of nowhere because I didn't want them to go into a specific one. Okay, so this is Space Candy because it was supposed to be originally a spaceship. So this is like my candy flying spaceship that's going to tackle the flying candy that's, you know, supposed to kill him, which doesn't quite happen yet. But okay, we need the Space Candy control to see my control. Okay, and this also has the spawn, so I'll jump ahead of myself for a slight second. The number of aliens are supposed to pop out, and use of random dot range and spawn points. So that could be a couple. That's your spawn points. That is use of random dot range, and there's also instantiate right here, which is another thing from the second week. Are all parts of this one and of this assignment. The asteroids are supposed to move to the player, but they kind of get locked up. Might be a situation where they're just taking their good old time to get there, though, and I have to slightly work out that bug, too. But they are spawning, and they are popping out from different places randomly on the map, because you never know if one of them is going to spawn in a corner, or if 2 or 3, or sometimes they all pop out of one corner. It's supposed to change and be different every time. Like in this master scene, only this one candy is popping out, but when I go back in, you should see a bunch of asteroids popping out everywhere. Okay, so let me go ahead back in. And then we'll go into the movement script, which is what I was supposed to talk about in the first place. But there, see, they're starting to pop. Ah, there they come. See? There they are. Okay, so they're spawning, and they're kind of headed to the player. They're just awfully slow, so I don't know how I did that and what I did there. Okay, I guess I'll just have an invincible pink candy spaceship to fight my killer candies. I should name that. It should be killer candies. Okay, so if I go into my movement script, this is where I'm getting the local position, and I used a lot of the same code. that I used before. I do not have bullets in it yet, but oh, here is another get key down of an example from the first one as well. Okay, so, and it's supposed to, it's supposed to be able to direct speed, but it's not doing a very good job of doing that. Okay, you know what, while we're in here, I'm gonna go ahead and look at the rest of the code for the pink asteroids and the space candy. Did I look at all of them yet? Space candy, players from the other one. Let's get rid of player for a second. Okay, I've got the movement. I've got the space candy control. This is the, yeah, movement control from the spaceship. Movement control, space candy control. Let's take a look at the asteroids. Oh, here is another on trigger as well. Yeah, on trigger 2D was something that we asked for as well. So here's another on trigger 2D. To get the collider, and the idea is that when they collide, they're supposed to hurt one another. The candies are supposed to hurt the spaceship can hurt the candies, and the spaceship can shoot the candies, but it's not entirely working. It's not entirely bug free. Oh, and this is a vector 3 to move the player in any direction, so that could be part of moving player. Oh, asteroids moving toward player. That was on the pink asteroid page. Oh wait, no, this is the pink asteroid page. What am I thinking? Okay, so this vector 3 moves the asteroids to the player, or it's supposed to, and I think they are moving to the player. They're just extremely slow. Okay, so moving toward the player, on trigger 2D, spawning, instantiate. Yes, okay. This space candy may control, originally this was like my game manager. I didn't quite put that down as like a thing that I had in here though, because I found out you can only have one game manager, and I couldn't figure out how to incorporate all the things that I wanted into the one game manager, so I'm gonna have to get better at that, I guess. All right, so that should, I think, take care of two. And then if we head into 3, that I need to go ahead and start back to the beginning again. Okay, scenes. Later I'll play the whole thing so that we can see what it does. Okay, so back to the start scene. Open up the start scene. Yeah. Okay, so in the start scene, I just won't click on anything yet this time. And the music will play in the background. Okay. In the start scene, we asked for canvas. Okay, so here is a use of canvas. And I actually have a use of canvas, I think, on almost every single page with different view. Because I did a platformer, and then I did like a thing like overhead for the, well, I'll show you here in a minute, but I have different types of canvases all over the place, I guess you could say. Let me see, a text object. This would be a text object right here, and in the next scene, of a bunny with a sugar rush, that's my title. And when I flip to the next scene, it gives you the storyline of what I was trying to do with this game. This is a button, so it asks for one of the things in section 3 that we were to learn were buttons. So that's my start button. It contains text, color, all that good stuff. Here, I'll actually go into my buttons features. And it's supposed to, probably have to start it over again, but no, that's right. Well, yeah, I will have to start over. It gets tired, I guess. But it should change to highlight and red when you press it, and it will. It's just when I start over it, because it's kind of like it, I don't know, stops and thinks for a long time if you don't press the button right away. Okay, but anyway, that would be a button object, that would be text object. An image object would be my chocolate bunny down here, and this cloud with this almost spooky kind of monstrous cotton candy in there. That's just what I found. Okay, so, okay, let's see there. It did it. So it changed to red as soon as I clicked the button. And then off this would be even more text. So, and if we can't see it very well, Once there was a bunny who ate a lot of candy, too much candy. The bunny entered a sugar rush and fell asleep dreaming of a candy world. So that's the entire game, is it's supposed to be a candy world. There it's doing it. So when you hold your mouse button over, when you hold the mouse over top of the button, it changes from hot pink to orange. When you click on it, it changes to red. And then that's where you begin the actual game. So that should be canvas, a text object, an image object, a button object, and player control. So in this one, this scene, I do have a player control. We'll go more into my player control here in a minute. Okay, let's just pause for a second. And we're going to go into scripts. And we're going to go into platform because this part is my platform part of my game. And let's go into player scripts. Oh, well, that would be it. What am I thinking? This is a player control. This controls my player. There you go. And I'll go into the rest of this here in just a second of more of the player control. But player control script. So that should be, that hopefully will take care of all of section 3 from class. Okay, section 4 of class was actually the platformer. Oh, and I have some other things to show you on for part 3 in just a little bit, but I'll do this part first and try to keep myself somewhat organized here. Player move left and right was one of them. So if I head back into my game and I head into, let's just go to that scene and not start all over again. If I head into the platformer scene and I press play, yes, my player can move left and right and even turns that direction because I did a flip the sprite in my code. So that's working pretty well. And I even animated my enemy up here, my big bad wolf. He can also turn left and right and everything too. So I added one to him and gave him movement. Okay, so player moves left and right. One of them was multiple scenes. Well, I hopefully don't have to explain that one because you saw my start scene and my space candy, and this should lead you into, yes, it did. And it heads into space candy, and space candy, if it's working properly, we'll head into the sneaky candy for like the sneaky McSneaky face. That's the one that was really probably the most messed up in my entire game. Okay, so anyway, multiple scenes. Music, there should be music playing on every page. It's playing for me. Hopefully it's playing over YouTube too when I post this. I don't know. My player is grounded. Otherwise, my bear would float up into there and away. And the animate, blend, idle, walk, and jump. So I'll go ahead and show you that here in just a second. The jump command, whatever, isn't doing as well as I wanted it to. But you definitely see, okay, like idling, you know, he just stands there and he pops up and down a little bit. I don't know if you can see it or not. Definitely has the walk. There, he did it. Jump. If you press spacebar, he will jump. And it's almost like you have to get him the right way. There's those things that do not touch him the right way again either. Okay. And this one. So it wasn't exactly jump. His jump, my jump only partially works, I guess. But I did make a climb the ladder. Oh, please do it. What? Oh, come on. There he goes. Okay, this one's climb the ladder. I couldn't find a good animation to get him to climb. Like, the only ones were, like the back of the bear. But, like, his head and his arms and his legs were cut off. And, you know, I kind of thought that might be scary if little kids play this game. Because, let's face it, only ones that would play this game are probably little kids. Everybody else is playing zombies and things, and they're probably bored to death right now. But anyway, so yeah, that was one of my other animations, was that he can climb the ladder, and he can jump, just his jump animation is not working too well. And my slight bug is that I keep getting stuck on this ladder. Come on, get up there, get up there, get up there. There you go, good bear. Okay, so yes, player's grounded. I have an animation blend. Music's playing right now, multiple scenes, player moves left and right. Okay. And I kicked it into this accidentally. And I used different music for the scenes. Oh, hey! My asteroids are starting to make it to me. Maybe in the next 30 minutes, they will get here. Okay, now this is supposed to pop me into the next scene too, but it's like not working. What if I go backwards? What if I go upside down? All right, it's not cooperating, but the one did. So I'll just be happy with that. Look at that. They're like moving like turtle speed. Okay, let me just stop there. Because that scene takes forever. Okay, so that should be all of those. I will go ahead and show you the animations and the blends there for the platformer. Okay. Here, and if I go to my animator, this is my animation. He has a walk, he has a climb, he has a die. There's his jump up there. I guess I just did not get it working properly. It only does it half the time. But the climbs also, the climb definitely works, the walk definitely works. He's supposed to die from any state, but right now, even though I have it that I was trying to get him to interact with the wolf and the wolf is supposed to kill him, for some reason it's not working. I'd like to show you the die state though, if he would cooperate. Watch him not do it. Okay, come on. It's not gonna play just deaf state, is it? Okay. Let's see. Well, anyway, he does have a deaf state. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to get it to, because it took me a long time to figure that out, and I won't bore everybody with attempting to try to figure out how on earth I did that again, and how to get him to go into his deaf state. Let me see. What else did I want to show on this thing? Oh, I will go ahead and show my other scenes. So if the airplane sign is actually working correctly, which it, I guess, is not entirely working correctly, it's supposed to go into Sneaky Candy. And this was kind of like the Sneaky McSneak one. Now, this one is probably the saddest one that I have. It has different music still. The problem is, and there's 2 waypoints right here. I'll show you here in a second, but yeah, my nobody's moving in this one, so I did not have time to get them animated and moving. The sneaky player is supposed to have, the enemy's supposed to have waypoints. That sign's supposed to make us exit into the next level. And here's his waypoints, actually. So he's supposed to patrol from here to here and enter his finite state machine. And I'm just glad that it plays the rest of it without any bugs, I guess. But if I go into my my scripts again, no, I don't want to go there. I want to go my scripts. Okay, come on, scripts. And I go into the Sneaky Candy. Enemy finite state machine. Okay, so I need sneaky enemy control. Yeah, okay, so this is my script for my sneaky enemy control that is not working. So for his finite state machine, although I didn't quite include it on there because, you know, it's like not working, sadness, but he is supposed to control attack here and have sight, just like the one from Sneaky class. Anyway, so all of these are, here, let me pause this for just a second. Okay, hopefully it paused and didn't mess it all up, because sometimes when I pause it all goes berserk. Okay, but this is my finite state machine for my enemy controller, even though it's not entirely working. And then I'm going to go into just one more thing. I wanted to show you this with the multiple screens, even though I can't like get the sign to work because my guys won't move on the screen, so I need to finish working on that. But I had a victory scene at the end, and sometimes it'll go clear back to the start button. There it goes. So you won. Do you want to play again? So the bunny has become nothing but candy since, you know, chocolate and everything and sugar rush. So anyway, if I play it again, Yeah, okay, so it does. It does loop back to the start screen after a victory, which I could do if, you know, I get my guys up and running around and moving around my screen on the sneaky page. And then I also have the fail screen. Come on. Oh, wait, no, play. 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 Gummy Bunny failed. Do you want to play again? So, and he's supposed to be sad, and it's supposed to be sad, you know, dark music because, you know, he didn't make it. Okay. All right, so that I think is all the parts of my game that I will share with you today. I think I've covered everything on the checklist. I guess according to the checklist, so let me go back to the checklist real quick, even when Sonic Adventure. So sprite important display, yes, definitely. There's sprites on every page. I showed you some get key downs. I showed some get key accesses. I showed some vectors. I have vectors 2s, mostly vector 2s on the platform game. I've got vector 3s on the Sneaky McSneak, but it doesn't exactly work. I definitely have game objects. The one game object that the sign is active. The rest of the signs, I got to get the things to move the right way in order for it to continue to be active. Tank control, rotate, move forward was my pink candy spaceship. My asteroid candies do live spawn. They do pop in there. There was a game control too. A game manager, actually. I just kind of switched to game controller because I can't have more than one game manager. Found that out. And then on trigger, enter 2D. So I showed you that. There's triggers too within all those exit signs for when you can flip to the next level. I showed you a use of instantiate plus the trigger on the there's both an instantiate and trigger on the asteroids, and there's a trigger on the platformer game as well. But the instantiate, I think the only place that instantiate exists is on the the Space Candy main controller, which used to be the game manager, but that was a use of instantiate. Move toward target position. Oh yeah, the spawning candies somewhat slowly move toward player position. They're looking for it anyway. They're just taking forever to get there. Okay, canvas space. Yes, I have canvas space on a lot of different scenes. I talked about text object. I talked about an image object. I talked about a button object. Okay, so they're all in there. Player controller. There's a player controller on actually the 3 game playing scenes, but a really good working player controller is on the platformer scene. So I definitely have a script for a player controller. I've got more than one player controller scripts running around in here. Player move right and left in my platform portion of the game. Yes, I showed you that my bear can move right and left. You've seen multiple scenes. It actually goes very well from the start scene to the story screen to the platformer screen and even into the candy space asteroid scene. And then that's where it starts to get mucked up. And then there is a victory scene and a fail scene if I can, get the rest of it to work. Music has been added to every scene. I did not add in the a player deaf sound or an enemy deaf sound because I was unable to get my bear and my wolf to interact, and my asteroids and my spaceship are having issues interacting as well. So I don't know if I'm having issues on the Z plane again or what the issue is. So I've got to fix those bugs before. But and I also have for Animation Blend, although I didn't quite get to show you. Yes, my bear idles, he walks, he jumps, he climbs the ladder, and he actually has a cool death scene. Poor bear, but I can't use my death scene because, I can't get him to die. He's like my cat in the other video in my other game. My players are invincible. Yay! And my player is grounded. My player does not float up into outer space on my platform scene. Yes, gravity and grounded. Bugbear free, and not exactly. Project organization. I do have things in folders. I'll go back to that though, because I'm very bad at showing organization in videos. And comments, I am making comments now, but I'll show you some comments that I made also in my work. So let's take a look at comments and project organization, I guess. Okay. Let me go into, let me go into first. Okay, so everything is in folders. Most of it's off to the side. That is how I did it. Okay, so this is like animation. So all of these are my animation sequences to get my enemy to walk and everything. And I am not very good with this animator yet. So, I mean, they're there. I have a hard time, though. It took me forever to get them up and running and in there. So it'd take me forever to get back to it. And I'd have to rewatch some of the videos that I watched again to show you how they just play. Okay, let's see. Oh, and I wanted to show you about the tile map too, because I took a long time on these tile maps. They're fun. I really like making tile maps. There we go. That's what I'll do as a gamer. I'll just make tile maps all day. But here are my scenes. Okay, so I have a folder for the scenes. So these are all my scenes. I don't know why my fonts are in there, but it just, nah. I'll just leave it in there for right now. But all these are my different types of scenes. Oh, and I used crazy font too, so I'll go back to that too. So that was kind of a neat little extra thing that I did. My scripts are all in folders. If they're out of a script folder, that means they're like for every scene, and I was using them for every scene. I have a sprites folder. It contains a lot of my candies and a lot of my sprites. I have a text mesh folder. I found out about text mesh. So all my stuff for my text mesh is in here. That's where my other text should go, is in here. Let me see where, now I'll organize the rest of it later. And I do have a tiger and a wolf hanging out down here. That's my tiger that I used in there. So it should be probably up to, but there's folders. That's, honestly, that's really good for organization for me. Really, that is. Okay, but if you go into tile maps, I have, I created this cool tile map, and actually the map that I'm probably the proudest of is my platformer. So let me head back into my folders and into my platformer scene. I want to show off all the stuff that I did with this tile map because it took forever. Okay, and then, oh, let's see, what else? Was there something else that I was supposed to? Comments. Okay, yes, I'm supposed to talk about comments. Okay, I'm commenting right now, so there you go. Okay, probably not what you mean. Okay, but for my tile map, my background is the background on all of them, that candy background. So I really like the candy background. And then the foreground, will it, come on. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, here, just inspector. There we go. Now it's show you. Okay, so everything that's highlighted in green is the foreground. So that he can walk on this and this. All these are foreground. These are kind of foreground too, but also made them hazards. It's not like working like they're hazards anyway, but so I'll probably erase them from the foreground later and have them just as hazard. But when I was first playing with it and trying to figure things out in here, I ended up making them that way. Climbing, I have my own tile map for climbing. I only have one poor little ladder in here for that. And then hazards. So these are my hazards. My spikes are my hazards. And I have like so many layers now. But I've got a background layer, a climbing layer, player layer to try to see the player, an enemy layer to try to see the enemy. My layers didn't exactly work the way I wanted it to work, though, because what I wanted to do was it to be easier and not to really worry about the Z-axis that much. And guess what? You still have to really worry about that Z-axis. I mean, I thought I was doing a great job, and then they were all over the place, which is part of the reason why I don't think my bear and my wolf can touch or interact at the moment. And interactables are like the sign, and I thought later I'm going to put some coins in. I think I'm going to keep playing with this, especially the platformer part. I really like the platformer part, so I don't think I'm done playing with it yet. Okay, so that was things about my tile map, and then what was the other thing that I was supposed to do? I'm just a very distracted person, I guess. Okay, I should talked about project organization. Oh, the comments. Okay, so an example of my comments. My comments are probably the best in my scripts and my platform scripts. Come on, dude. Open up. There we go. Okay. Actually, there we go. So I did talk about Claire moving horizontally and reverse to go across the other way. I guess I'm not very good at commenting. The update's always there. Right here is the methods. So I commented about making the methods as well. So there are some comments. I probably should be doing a lot more commenting, but there we go. There are some comments in here. And I miss that every video. So this time I finally have it commented. Okay, that's probably it for now. Yeah, that's probably it. I mean, he does have a death state. I wish I could show you. Maybe I'll make another one again once I actually have it so that he and the wolf can actually touch and you can see the death state. And I can finally see the death state too and watch him like fall over and die. Poor bear. Okay, I think that's it though. So thank you. Hope you've somewhat enjoyed my candy land of a game. And I'll see you later.